Hey, um, uh, it's been a while. Around, I'm guessing, 3 to 4 months ish. Um, Sorry, I'm reading off a script because I don't know how to say this shit out of my mind. You noticed I've been quiet for a while, and you guys aren't wrong. You're not. I know it's been a minute since I posted or really updated on what's going on. Unless you're on my Discord, then congrats. I'm sitting down today to make this video because I wanted to be straightforward with you all, and I didn't want to come back with a hyper edited video on my end, pretty much. Like everything has just been completely normal, because the truth is, if you've noticed the tiny absence video I've made a few months ago, things have been heavy. And a lot has happened, changed, and I just needed more time than I think what usually people would need to process it all. This is not to vent, this is not to bring down the mood to anyone, but this is just to share where my head has been at, and why I've went quiet, and what my life has been outside of YouTube or speedrunning lately. And just to disclaim everyone, you can notice there's a bit of a mess where my hand is, so I'm sorry for that, but I'm just cleaning up, so that's why. But let's get started on where I've been. If you noticed from the previous upload where it says explaining my tiny absence, I bet you guys have watched that as well. My dad has passed away back in February. That was nearly 5 months ago. And it's still hard to say it out loud on camera, to be honest, because losing a parent isn't something you can really prepare for, no matter how much you think or understand how life works. When it happened, everything kind of went, slow motion. Like, life just felt slow. Even though you're feeling that, everything else for everybody just felt at normal or faster in general. Like, in the beginning, at an event like that, it's not really an event, it's just kind of bullshit. But, you just try your best to support your family, trying to get through the logistics, all that. But, like, once that initial shock wears off, everything just feels weird, and this fog just sets in your brain. And my motivation just went, I can't click, but poof. Things that used to be second nature, which is getting up early and speedrunning when I had that motivation during that period, as well as working towards the goals that I've set for this year, and even early next year as well. Yeah, those suddenly felt like trying to swim in wet concrete. I don't know how to explain it any further, to be fair, but that's just how it felt. Like, some days I would have the energy, do whatever I want, and there are other days where I just want to rot in bed. Or, yeah, but it's just how it's been. Just figuring out what to do with myself, and just took everything I've had in my ability to try and get better. Grief is weird like that, and it's not just a sad feeling all the time. It's like this heavy fatigue that you feel, and it's constant for a while. You want to be productive, you want to push forward, but your brain is spending all its time and background energy to just process the fact that someone who was always there for you suddenly isn't. And I had learned to accept that forcing myself to grind through that wasn't going to work. You know? On top of dealing with that though, life doesn't pause its expectations. Like, over the past few months, I've been in the middle of job searching a little bit. If anyone here has been job hunting before, you already know it's exhausting. Even when it's with a job agency, you know? You could probably relate. Sending out applications, tweaking your resumes, waiting for emails, dealing with rejection and being ghosted altogether. Doing all of that whilst trying to process personal grief was a really tough combo. You sit there trying to convince employers why you're motivated and ready to give 100%, while internally you may be running at maybe 20, 40%. Maybe if you're lucky, 50%. But it felt like a constant balancing act between needing to secure the future and needing space to heal in the present. But when things like that get overwhelming, I had to figure out how to just survive the week without burning out completely. And honestly, it came down to the simple things. Spend time gaming whilst not recording or streaming, because I feel like that would put a lot of pressure off my head. That's one thing. Just to turn off my brain for an hour or two, usually, even though that hasn't really worked, but I've tried it anyways. And it has become a sanctuary where I didn't have to think about responsibilities or grief when it comes to doing that. Gaming. Yeah. Because good distraction, really. I also made a conscious effort just to try and go outdoors. Try to take a walk. Get fresh air. Stepping away from the screen, really. It sounds cliche, but when your mind is spinning, physically moving into a different space helps you get grounded with everything else that you have around you. And most importantly, I've learned on friends, hanging out, talking about completely random things, or just having people around who didn't expect me to be okay all the time. And that was a huge lifeline. I used to feel a bit guilty doing those things. Like, shouldn't I be working? Shouldn't I be grinding? But I've realized that taking those breaks wasn't me being lazy or giving up, but it was how I kept myself tethered while everything still felt uneasy. Even though it's already been 5 months, it still feels uneasy. That's all I really have to say. So the real question is, where does that leave things right now on my end? That's the real question, and I will answer that. I'm not going to sit here and say everything is 100% fixed right now and I'm totally back to normal, because that's not really true. Grief doesn't have an end date, and job hunting is still in progress, but the fog is starting to clear more. You know, like, yeah, that's how I would say it. The motivation as well, though, that's slowly coming back. Not because I forced it, but that's because I gave myself the room to feel terrible for a while and not judge myself for it. And I'm starting to feel that itch to create again, set new goals, and build a routine that actually feels sustainable. That's how I'm gonna go about it when it comes to that question. So hopefully that gets it answered in your brains. But if you stuck around through this quiet period, or if you're watching this because you're going through your own heavy season right now, thank you truly. It means a lot to have a space where I could just be real with you all. And I'm taking things one step at a time, but I'm excited to start sharing more with you all again. As things move forward, take care of yourselves, check in on your people, and hopefully I'll upload a video soon. But it's most likely that period of like 3 to 4 months without uploading will happen again. Yeah, I'm just being for real with you all on that one, but hopefully we get back there today. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.